The first step of this process was the hard part. We learned through trial and error that one must have delicate, deft fingers to thread the film on the rewinder. During the inspection process, we look for dust, scratches, color fading, and splices. We clean off most of the gunk with alcohol and Q-tips, and repair and replace splices when necessary, which requires us using the splicer. We attach leader to the head and tail of the film for protection, and for somewhere to write the title of the film on.
The rolls of film we concentrated on originally belonged to a woman named Emma Pooter. We named the collection in her honor.
I didn't know Emma Pooter. She was a tenant in the building where I lived. I went to the dumpster one day to throw something away, and I saw a person's life inside the dumpster. There were vintage items, things that people would enjoy having. I pulled out a travel bag from a travel agency, and inside were about 50 rolls of film.
Oh my gosh.
99% of them were dated and marked, and I was just thrilled and very curious as to what could be on them.
She didn't know what to do with the films at first, but then she found out about Home Movie Day and took the bus to Madison last year. Here she met Amy Sloper and watched some of the film and donated 5 reels of film to the Wisconsin Center for Film and Television Research. The remaining 35 rolls of film she later donated to the Chicago Film Archive. We plan to donate the rest of the collection to the Chicago Film Archive, thereby completing the Emma Pooter collection.
It's finicky a little bit. You have to have like an eagle eye to catch all the dust and debris on the film. And then you have to have small fingers, which again, Emily did most of this, to be able to thread it properly. And if you didn't do it right, it would let you know, and you couldn't do your job properly. It had a mind of its own sometimes. My favorite film, I think, was the Cubs game. Like, both Emily and Jenny and I were like watching it, and we could see the home run and see what people are eating and drinking and kind of get a feel of the atmosphere. And it really made the game come back to life, even for like only a minute.
It was harder to work with the smaller gauge film than I expected it to be, just because it requires incredibly tiny fingers to be able to thread the film onto the spools, and I don't have tiny enough fingers for that. But other than that, it wasn't that much different than working with 16 millimeter. What struck me about the home movies was that they shot anything and everything that happened to them. Like, the one movie that was just them driving through the night with nothing but the light of the headlights to light their way. Color film doesn't do well with that, and I feel they should have known that. And they filmed it nonetheless, but at the same time, it's interesting that they chose to film that, because it is a snapshot of their life that otherwise you'd never get with somebody who is more experienced and would never have shot the film at night. I definitely think it's film worth preserving. Home movies are worth preserving because they're snapshots of real life that you don't get otherwise. With Hollywood movies and with other sorts of photographs and things like that, you get the ideal of the time period. But with home movies, nobody was doing their hair up fancy for the camera, nobody was putting on their pearls, nobody was wearing a necktie especially to be on film. People were as they were, which you don't necessarily see in other media.
I think it's interesting, and I think it's really exciting that you can see someone else's life in the projectors. And well, I got really awesome teammates, and everything went so well. And I think we can fix everything when we are working as a team. So. I think that one is really interesting because that's the first film that we've built, right? And then it's funny because I saw the rubber band. I'm the first one who saw the rubber band, and then we were so exciting that, oh, that's really a rubber band. The boy's hand. That's really funny.
I really enjoyed the project. It was really fun to work with analog film, because in the past I just worked with digital video, and working with film, I felt like I was playing with a super cool toy. I was surprised that the collection was found in the garbage, and that we were able to give it a second life and use it to learn new skills that are going to help us in the future.